Welcome to AEW Rewind. I am Woody,
I am Sarah.
and this is your Dynamite review for Blood and Guts, May 5th, 2021. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
When,
oh my goodness.
when they said we're going to get Blood and Guts, we didn't quite get the guts. We got a lot of blood in this, though.
We almost got guts.
Wow. We did almost get guts. But wow, I mean, I don't even have any words to describe that match. That was about 40 minutes of brutality right there.
Yeah.
But
that
man,
was a spectacle that do you know what? That literally comes close to that lights out match that Mox and Omega had the other year.
ooh, yeah. It's in that territory for sure.
It is in that. That's going to go down as like my second favorite bloody match.
And the good thing this did, it definitely set the tone. Whenever they have another Blood and Guts match, this is going to be a appointment view.
Ever going to top that?
I don't know, but I think it's going to be appointment viewing from this point forward. If somebody missed it, they're not going to miss it the next time.
Yeah.
These guys put everything on the line, and the fans were the true winners in this. So
yeah, everybody that saw that live.
Oh man,
so jealous.
Oh, good night. I would have given anything to be there. Yep. But there was a lot more that happened on the show too. A lot of unexpected things. Things I did not see coming. So you ready to talk some Dynamite?
Let's go.
All right. First off, we had Jonathan Moxley and Edward Kingston.
Ooh, don't
versus
first naming them.
Versus Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. And it didn't look like Omega was going to come out at first.
That wouldn't have surprised me.
But I knew he was going to be there because he's the multiple world champion, Kenny Omega. He is he is the true champion of AEW. But in the end, he's also smart, and he knows when things are not stacked in his favor, when they're stacked against him, when things aren't fair, I guess you'd say. So he left the ring and left Nakazawa in there. Yeah, he took the pinfall from Moxley, and so Moxley and Kingston, it looks like they were gonna beat down Nakazawa after the match, and which is again something Moxley and Kingston would do to a defenseless man. And who came out to save the day? The Young Bucks.
Did you hear Miami Vice theme tune when that came on?
You talking about how they were dressed?
My God.
That was a thing of beauty.
Put it this way. Matt Jackson's missus on Instagram, quote Instagrammed what I'd quote tweet, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Said, our Hawaiian holiday isn't for a few months.
He's starting it early.
So even his missus thinks he's a bit of an ass in this bit. That says something.
Anyways, look, don't listen to her. They look great. They were stylish. They were comfortable because they can be comfortable because they are the tag team champions. So, but yeah, they came out to save the innocent Nakazawa from getting brutalized by these thugs, Moxley and Kingston, and also the Good Brothers. They came out to help too because they're also they are paragons of virtue here in AEW.
It's 4-on-2, so not exactly fair.
Yeah, but they're coming to someone's defense. It's a little different. Okay. And so Omega comes back out. So in the end, Moxley and Kingston basically got what was coming to them. And it looks like we might get Moxley and Kingston versus the Young Bucks at some point.
That means
That's really
war
what
for us.
That's really what they want. You know. You think we can handle that?
I generally think we'd have to like put some type of like agreement between us to do that.
What type of agreement?
Otherwise, it's just going to be hours and hours of me and you going back and forth, just like
Right.
arguing.
We'd have to put a time limit.
Every detail that was in it.
Like start the clock, and we got 5 minutes. And okay.
You get 5 minutes to talk about the Bucks. I get 5 minutes to talk about Moxley and Kingston.
Yeah, and if you say something stupid, I get 2 extra minutes.
No. They will not be the rules.
We could just go ahead and give me 2 extra minutes from the start.
No, these are blood and guts rules. Look.
Okay.
If we kept adding 2 minutes every time one of us said something stupid, it would go on forever. Literally till the end of time. But can I just say?
All right.
Can I just say the Bucks took the shoes off, which. Also, Matt Jackson literally just chilling on like the top of the ropes, like he was in a hammock. Which I'll give him credit
Starting
for.
Vacation early
was pretty like a good look, but I did want him to fall off. And also, Brandon Cutler, if you can hear me, blink twice if you've been held against your will.
Because, that man is not being held against his will.
Oh, telling you.
No. Like this isn't Dark Order. There's nobody's drinking any kind of Kool-Aid.
No, they're drugging him instead, probably.
He is there on his own accord. He is there because he wants to be with winners, not Moxley and Kingston.
I am trying to contain myself.
You're doing a pretty good job. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of
you. Thank you.
Okay, look. This is the point where they announced Sheeta versus Baker at Double or Nothing.
That crowd noise, I am sorry, was amazing. We need this. We need this. Underline it, bold letters, flashing lights.
I have it underlined right here. Yep.
Yeah.
A double underline and a couple exclamation points. So.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. It's weird that an announcement like that would be one of the more exciting parts of the show, especially on a show like this. But I literally got excited about that. I mean, I feel like we all knew it was coming, but just to see the graphic, yes.
Until it's announced, you always kind of like, they could literally be messing with us.
Yeah, they're going to go a different direction. We kind of saw that with the Paige Omega thing. You know, a lot of people thought Double or Nothing that was coming, and it's not. So, all right. Next, we had QT Marshall. I almost said QT Marshall. I almost said Marshall. QT Marshall. Don't want to mess with him there. And versus Cody Rhodes, 2 former friends, former partners with the Nightmare family. Facing off, and this one, Cody won. Cody ended up locking in the figure 4, and this is interesting because Cody, at the point in the match at the end, Cody started to help QT up, but then QT flipped him off. So Cody locked in the figure 4 and was like gushing blood from his eye in the middle of that. So QT, this is brutal looking. QT tapped out. And then in comes Anthony Ogogo and delivered a body shot to Cody, dropping the Prince of Pro Wrestling, and then draping the British flag.
What a
over
beautiful
his body.
flag!
Yeah. So.
Called it.
Talk to me about this one. Yep. Pretty much did.
Yeah, like.
Of course, this match, in the preview show, we did give like 17 different outcomes.
Yeah. So, like we said, one of them had to work.
And one of them did. Yes, one of them worked.
Did. But I think every match on this show that wasn't the main event kind of looks smaller. And that's no slight on anybody's work or anything like that. It just happens to be the main focus was the main event. But for like a match that, let's be honest, would be on Dynamite anyway. This was great. This like, it was what it was. It was a grudge match. Like, and I think the reason these matches are happening like this is we're building Anthony Ogogo for something. Whether he's going to be at a pay-per-view against Cody or something, or against a member of the Nightmare family, but something is around him. They're like portraying him as like the main star out of this faction that isn't QT Marshall. A bit like what Orange Cassidy is with Best Friends. They're getting that one person that can shine right now. And it just feels like that's what it's leading to.
I do feel like the biggest part of the plan with the factory right now is to get Anthony Ogogo over. And it's
which
it's
is
working.
like 100% understandable, and it is working because like he's not completely come from no background in any type of fighting sport or anything like that. We know that. But wrestling is more of a formative style of fighting sport, if you want to coin that word, which I don't like, but it is what it is.
It is.
So to help him develop the wrestling side of the fighting, because he probably got the fighting down perfect.
I would think
get
so.
The wrestling side down, and what better way to do it than with people that like Cody and QT at the end of the day. So I'm all for, getting Anthony Ogogo to go.
Because you would think if you're going to put him with somebody that you can trust that would make him look good, Cody would be that guy.
Yeah, and Cody will sell at anything. I don't even think he'll have to sell. I think he literally will be hurt.
About to say if Ogogo follows through, you're not going to have to worry about selling. That's
nope. It's going to be legit hurt.
Hope he's got strong ribs.
Good medical plan.
Next, please. Next we had Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page cutting a promo on Sting and Darby. But then Darby, man, he flew out of
where the
left
hell did
field.
he come from?
Good grief! He creamed Page against that pillar or whatever it was beside him.
Yeah.
But 2-on-1. So Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky got the best of Darby. Ended up putting his face into a spiked boot, and then throwing him down a flight of steps.
Jeez.
Which is Darby going to be okay? Is he good?
Like, let's just look at this for as a whole thing right now. And this is one thing I love about Darby and about AEW. That entire jumping from wherever the hell he came from looked like he legit just ran in and just flew. It didn't look like it was polished to an inch of its life, because he flew Ethan Page into something. He probably overshot it a bit, but it just makes it look that bit more realistic, and you know what I mean? So
Darby doesn't have a half speed. He's full speed all the time. That's
Darby's either not going anywhere or he's going fast.
Going. Yes, that's it.
And then just people throw Darby around, and it really concerns me on a regular basis. It's and also, can I just say, I want Ethan Page's shoes. I want the spiky shoes. They will look good with stuff I wear.
Anybody's looking for a gift idea out there.
Yeah,
there you go.
Spiky shoes, please. Yeah, and then just throw them into a concrete wall, because why not? None of that can be gimmicked. That's Darby Allin being thrown into a concrete wall.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it is what it is.
Down concrete stairs. Like, you can, like, practice falling as much as you want. And being a
Yeah,
skater, I'm
yeah.
going to say he's had a lot of practice of falling.
I believe so. Yes.
You cannot cushion yourself falling down concrete stairs.
No.
There is no way. You can, like, roll so you don't actually kill yourself, but there's no way you can cushion what concrete can do to your body.
Yeah. And bones will break.
Oh, yeah. And I literally love how they zoomed in on him. I don't know if you guys got it, because I don't know if it was in picture in America. For us on Fight, they zoomed in on him and the doctor was going, "Can I check your legs?" I was like, "Get off me." I was just like, I know people like you, Darby. I know people like you. I've known people like you.
It's so Darby.
And then
just get off.
I was just like, that's how I'd react. That's how my husband would react. The people that just, you know, living the life. I don't do any crazy stunts, but I also don't want to be mollycoddled if I've done something to myself. So
yeah,
I was just like, yeah, that is Darby. If anybody describe Darby, I'd just show him that bit. He just fell down the stairs. The doctor's asking, "Is he okay?" And he's just told the doctor to get off him. So
that's it. Yep,
that's it.
That's the first layer of Darby. Is get off me. I'm good.
Yeah, keep going.
All right, and we got some more news for Darby down the road, but we will get there
We'll
when we
definitely get
there. It gets worse for Darby. It does.
God.
But next we had Britt Baker in action, and we found out who she was in action against, and it was Julia Hart making her debut for AEW, and it was a quick debut as she
Julia
lost.
Hart, not to be confused with anybody else with Hart in the name in wrestling.
No, not one of those Harts.
Which literally was my first thought when I heard her name. I was like,
oh. Google. Let's see. But yeah, this is a pretty quick one that Baker won with the lockjaw. So,
I mean, we called that right as well.
Yeah, we did. We got that one right in our prediction show. Absolutely, we did. And we didn't even know who she was facing. So,
yeah, exactly.
But had we known, I'm pretty sure the pick would have been the same.
But inside knowledge, you know, we know what we're talking about. This is the example. Yeah, I mean, Britt just looks fantastic in any match she does. Like her facial expressions, the way she carries herself, like, she's just fantastic. And I'm just so excited for like Double or Nothing. So
just the simple things she does, just knowing where the camera is and playing up to it, because she does that a ton. Just those simple things.
Yeah.
Just the look she gives the camera. It's similar to how Nick Jackson does in his matches now as the newly rejuvenated Bucks. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Yeah, but she does that so well also. Those little things make a difference in building her character, man.
Yeah,
it just
100%.
Makes you love to hate her even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Taz had a segment where he was breaking down matches, and it was featuring some of his Team Taz folks. But it was mainly done as a vehicle to kind of to run down Christian to make him look weaker.
The line where he put, "After 7 years, the honeymoon following Christian's return is coming to an end." My God, man! Like, all right. It sounds like you're just gonna put him in a coffin, like with Darby next to him or something. Jeez. He has a way with words, Taz. Let's just say that.
Yeah, he does. So, who do you think Christian's gonna face next in Team Taz?
Do you know? He's pretty much. He's not faced Ricky, has he?
He hasn't faced Ricky.
Ricky be a good one. Do you know who I actually want to happen, but I don't think he's going to? Hook. I know he's probably not ready.
Actually wrestled.
Yeah, I know he's probably not ready, but I just want to... Look, I'm all for him getting involved in every way he can, because I just think it's like... He's probably going to be like the first like wrestler to come up that way in AEW, and I'm just really keen to see how that's all going to pan out for him. Because like we talk about like Jungle Boy and Darby as like homegrown talents, and they are in that sense.
Yeah.
But they were wrestling before. Like Hook is coming up as he's training, and he's on Dynamite. So I'm just really like, I really just want to see stuff from him. But I know he's probably not at that point yet. But I just really, really want to see it now.
Yeah. I want to see more of Hook.
Every time he gets involved, I'm just like he's going to be great. You can already see it, like just in. It's like viciousness that it's already got. You
feel like he's going to be an even more athletic version of Taz, if that makes sense.
100%. He's got Taz's attitude.
Yeah,
and then he's got this athleticism behind him.
So, next we had a tag team 4-way. The winner of this are going to get a shot at the Young Bucks tag team titles. The Varsity Blondes, Jurassic Express, SCU, and the Acclaimed. And this ended as we thought it would, as we predicted.
Again.
Yes. Yep. With SCU beating the Varsity Blondes with the BME driver to get the victory. So, what do you think about this whole thing? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in this match.
There was a lot of stuff going on. And look, I wasn't overly in love with this, and I am being honest, because I think because we already kind of knew the answer, it was more of a formality, which I guess is like not something I look for in my matches. Like sometimes, like I agree, you know who's going to win, but I don't want it to be so, like you said, like cut and dry, like as in. It felt like the ink had already dried on like the contract for this to happen. But hey, look, like I said before, all the matches compared to like the main event didn't hit like the main event. So it's on like a normal Dynamite, this would probably have been great, but on this, it just didn't. It just didn't work for me, as in putting it against the main event. That's it.
No.
It's not criticizing the work in it or anything. It's just, for me, this would be a normal Dynamite and it'd be great.
Yeah. But you're right, though. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I think we all knew SCU was going to win it.
Yeah.
I think maybe had the promo with SCU and the Young Bucks not happened, this might have felt a little different. Like you were a little, hey, man, is Jurassic Express going to win this? Is the Acclaim going to get another shot? That kind of thing. But
just like the thought with like the promo they did the other week against the Bucks, I just feel like when they did that, I was like, all right, so it's going to be at Double or Nothing. But then when this was announced, I was like, so why have they done the promo? Because that then just doesn't make sense to me. It was a great promo, and I wouldn't say it wasn't, but it just feels like it was too soon. Like, do that promo after you've won on the following Dynamite.
Yep. Like if they would have had this match last week and then had them come out and do the promo on this show.
Yeah, it's like they went to the middle before they started the start.
Yeah,
I agree. And it's confusing.
Can I just I say I have just one issue with a big issue with this match. Not with the match, but with Max. Which he came out, doing his little rap,
I know exactly what you're gonna say now.
He took it too far, man. He's gonna call
safe space.
Did he call the tag team champions the Young Cucks? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, and I burst out laughing.
Max, you just made the list.
You have a list?
I just started it.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing I'm on the list.
Yeah, we're going you, Moxley, Kingston,
Hey,
Max
I'm
Caster.
in good company then. Keep me on the list. Come at me, bro. You got to get across the ocean first.
Hang on. Speaking of Moxley being on the list, we got a promo next hyping up the match that he's going to have with Nagata on Dynamite next week for the New Japan US Championship. You excited for this one?
I am, and I have I don't know if many people know this, but I've never really watched any New Japan, apart from the Kenta Moxley. It's just something that's never been on my radar, for reasons that probably are obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I was out of wrestling for so long, but anything with Moxley in it, I'm watching it. So, yay!
Yeah.
More Moxley.
There you go. You think he loses the title next week?
See, this is the thing, right? He's held it for what, 2 years?
He's had it for a while. Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people the same say. But
they say a lot of stuff.
Will New Japan have the title dropped on a Dynamite show?
Yeah, I don't think so.
And if not, does that mean he goes off, becomes a dad, still as that champion?
I think so.
I don't think he'll drop that on another wrestling company's show, and it be the weekly show and not a pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view, yep.
But hey,
yep.
We didn't expect Brian Cage to knock off Hangman Adam Page off his top spot, so who knows?
Who knows? You never know.
This company surprises me all the time.
Never say never.
No, especially in AEW.
Nope. Next, we got Tony Schiavone with the AEW, Impact, TNA, and AAA Mega Champion, Kenny Omega. He came out to hear the announcement regarding his title defense at Double or Nothing. And the announcement we got was that Pac is going to face Orange Cassidy next week.
I can't believe we're getting this match again.
I know. The winner is going to face Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing.
Oh my God.
Look.
Made me so happy.
That is, again, we just talked about them doing things that we don't expect. I did not see this one coming.
Nope.
I'm super excited for that match.
Oh my God. I'm excited for Pac and Cassidy again because
yes.
Last time was the first time I saw Orange Cassidy in a match that he properly worked a match.
That was.
And I remember going, that's why everybody likes this guy. Like, I get it now.
That's when it clicked. That's when it clicked for a lot of people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Kenny Omega just being an absolute git.
Yeah. There you go.
There we go. The way you said gold. Oh my God. Taking the guy's sunglasses and going, look, they're actually Ray-Ban. Look, I think a lot of people will agree with this, but I think we are going to get Omega Orange Cassidy because we have done Omega Pac.
Mm-hmm. It was a great match, though. It was a great match, though.
It was a great match.
Yep.
But Pac is also doing his teaming thing.
He is.
So
you're right.
I've not seen him go on a singles run.
Mm-hmm.
So and also with Omega and Orange Cassidy, that will just be so fun to watch.
It's so interesting because that match could literally go either way with Pac and Orange Cassidy, because I think most people watching it would probably think Pac's going to win it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something about seeing Cassidy out there with Omega, the way they were doing that whole segment, having Omega talk down to Orange Cassidy the whole time. Before Orange even came out, he was already talking about how great of a rematch it's going to be with Pac. So completely overlooking the possibility that Orange Cassidy is going to even have a chance of getting there, much less have a chance at beating. Yeah. I think that whole dynamic that was built in that segment made me want to see that match even more. And I think that's what it was designed to do, because, like, if you just said Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy, I'm like, what? Not that I wouldn't want to say the match, but I'm like, where's the story? The story happened in that segment. Now, I know a lot of people don't give Kenny Omega enough credit as a promo guy, but that segment, which was Kenny Omega doing that segment because Orange Cassidy did nothing but stand there, which is what he does, and that helps his character. But Omega, the way he was talking to Cassidy and Cassidy's lack of a reaction, built my interest in wanting to see that match. Now, my interest is already there from an in-ring standpoint of wanting to see Pac versus Omega, so I would not be disappointed with that either. But because of that promo, it sold me on wanting to see Orange Cassidy get a title shot, which I don't think he would win. But
no, look,
I want to see that match. I want to see that match.
Yeah. So. Whoever wins the match between Orange Cassidy and Pac isn't winning the title.
No.
It's too soon. We have to wait for the Hangman thing. But I've just was looking about the rankings for the male titles. Orange Cassidy in singles competition is 8-0. Pac is 5-0. Orange Cassidy's number 1. Pac is 2.
Yep.
Overall, Orange Cassidy's 26-10-1. Pac is 19-9-1.
Man.
That's crazy statistics going into this.
I'm really looking forward to this match next week.
Oh, 100%.
Because just you look at that first match, as if this is anything like the first match, it's going to be we're going to have even more Orange Cassidy fans being born on Dynamite next week.
100%.
All right. Next is the more bad news for Darby Allin, who may or may not be injured. Miro came out and made his declaration of what title he is challenging for, which should have been obvious considering we just found out what's happening with the world title. But Miro is challenging Darby Allin next week for the TNT title. And it was made known clearly that if Darby can't, we've heard this before too, that if Darby can't compete, that he will forfeit the title. But Miro ended this by saying 7 days from now, the world will know what happens when the man who doesn't mind dying meets the man who doesn't mind killing him.
Oh my God.
Is Darby going to die next week?
What a line as well, I'm sorry, to have. Like, we've been waiting for Miro to be this killer, to run through AEW like a bull. And we're getting it. And I am a Darby fan, and I relate a lot to him as a human in the fact that I kind of get what he's about. But my God, I would be lying if I said I am not excited to see what Miro does. I don't want Darby to die. There is a possibility. Miro isn't the biggest guy Darby's been against either. So I wouldn't 100% count him out. And also, this is another one where I'm like, they're either going to surprise us or it's going to go the way I'm thinking it's going to go. And I can't, I'm 50-50 on which way this is going to go because my heart is saying, no, this is Archer. That's the way it's been going. Look at the last few months. But my head is going, this is Miro. Like, look at the guy. Like, seriously. But then again, is it too soon for Miro to even be near a title? Seems as all he's really done is being with Kip.
Yep. But yeah, it's this is right there in the same boat with the Orange Cassidy and Pac match. It's just too close to call for sure. Which is another reason this match is going to be so good, because it's assuming Darby can go, because again they keep stressing that if he's able to compete, and we saw what happened to him earlier. So if this match happens, that's going to be in the back of your mind, man. Which is going to make every near fall have you on the edge of your seat even more. So I don't know, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm also ready to talk about this.
Oh my God. I can't believe I get to relive this again. It's probably I've probably watched it 4 times since I watched it this morning.
I watched it twice. So you got me beat. It's the Blood and Guts match between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. First of all, I thought it was really cool how the Pinnacle came out dressed all in white.
Oh my God, that
which
was
is
brilliant.
And then you had the Inner Circle in prison jumpsuits. Was fantastic.
Yes.
It's such a weird dynamic, because normally, you imagine the heroes in white and the villains in the prison jumpsuits, but no, it flipped, and I love that. I love that look.
Yeah.
And the crowd singing Judas was awesome. It was the loudest I've heard it.
Looked absolutely elated.
It did.
He literally basked in that as well, which credit to him. Like, geez.
However, fast forward to the ending, and he wasn't so elated.
No. Headache.
Yes, because the match ended very dramatically on the top of the structure, as both men were bloody.
Yep.
Man, MJF was pouring blood.
Oh my God.
But they're at the edge of the cage, and MJF is threatening to throw Jericho off. He starts screaming, either surrender or I throw him. Surrender or he goes off the cage. And who steps up?
My man that I called it.
Man that you called. You absolutely nailed it. Sammy Guevara, a longtime friend, sidekick, I guess you could say, of Jericho within AEW.
Adopted son.
He is, yes. He screamed, no, we surrender, we surrender. So the Pinnacle wins it by surrender from Sammy Guevara, saving his friend and mentor Chris Jericho from being thrown off the top of the cage. But it did not save him from being thrown off the top of the cage, because after letting Chris sit for a minute, MJF made the decision to pick him back up and toss him off the cage to the floor below. So the show goes off the air with MJF looking very pleased with himself, taking the spot that once was held by Chris Jericho. And MJF looked down at Chris and screamed, "Thank you." He said, "Thank you." That's what he said he was going to do. Yes, he did. But he said, "Hey, I'm going to look down on you when it's over with and tell you thank you." So he's taking his spot. So, a lot to talk about in this match.
Oh my God, this match! Like, I said it to you before, but this literally goes up near the lights out between Mox and Kenny for me. It's just on that level for me personally, and I know we've seen everybody's little comments. Not that I'm going to dwell on that, but seriously, people, let it go. It's wrestling. Move on.
Come on.
It's called
Get lost in it.
Deal with it.
Get lost in it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Just take your mind and just remember when you're a kid watching wrestling, and just have that frame of mind when watching stuff like this, because otherwise you'll nitpick absolutely everything.
Exactly. Have fun.
Exactly. This one, the Pinnacle coming down in white. I at first was like, wait a minute, they are the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
I've not got confused and like I had a fever dream or something. Tully looking exceptional as well. So we just give props to Tully. I loved when the Inner Circle came down because one, Chris Jericho just looked genuinely ecstatic that there was like a massive crowd singing that song towards them. Like he looked genuinely like he was in such a good place. The jumpsuits were such a nice touch. I did like try and like keep like because I obviously watched it after it streamed live, so I was like kept pausing it to read what everybody's jumpsuits at the back, and I was just like, "What did that song say?"
Yeah,
but I don't know where all these places are, so I just have to guess.
All prisons from their home states, I believe, too.
That's
Right?
what
I think that's what they mentioned.
But I was like, I don't know where any of these places are. So yeah, that was brilliant. Sammy starting and Dax going in. Now, this is where I got it wrong because I expected Sean Spears to go in. But can we give major props to Sammy Guevara?
MVP.
Literally. He went
MVP
from start to finish and didn't seem to let up once. Like, seriously, look at Sammy's AEW career. First match, first AEW match, first Stadium Stampede match, first Blood and Guts match, first one in.
And he's the one that always takes the biggest beating in these matches too. He takes
the one that gives his body up.
Bumps, yes.
Like we always say, Darby Allin, literally bumps. Sammy is not that far behind.
They're on the same. They're right there close. You're right. They're on the same level.
On the same thing. And look, this guy, Sammy Guevara, is gonna be AEW. Imagine 5-10 years time, where he's going to be. Like, he's insane of how much he puts into his work. And he tweeted the photo before of how bad his back is banged up. And
saw that. It's bad. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
And I sent it to my husband, bearing in mind, last time my husband watched wrestling, Matt and Jeff Hardy were tag champions in 2000. So, and he's not really one for watching AEW because he's like some people that used to watch it, they've kind of got past it now and they can see it for what it is. Therefore, he doesn't get any enjoyment out of it. That's him. But even he, when I sent in this photo, went, "Oh my God, that looks brutal."
Yeah, you can't deny that.
You can't deny it. So major props for Sammy Guevara on this. And just the flow of the match, the poor camera crew couldn't keep up with what was going on anywhere. You'd be watching one segment and all of a sudden you hear something go off on the other side and you're just like, what happened?
Sammy, just staying on Sammy for a second, the Spanish fly he hit with Spears, the springboard Spanish fly that went from one set of ropes to the other, and then springboarded with and then after they hit that move, the crowd started with the loud AEW chants. Which that was like a little bit of a goosebump moment for me because I don't feel like I've really heard a loud chant like that since the pandemic started. That was a perfect time for that to happen when they hit that springboard Spanish fly. And of course, staying on Sammy again, our MVP, hitting the coast to coast on Sean Spears, who was hanging upside down in the corner. Went coast to coast with the drop kick to Spears' face with the chair. Amazing spot. Amazing spot. The dude he's just unbelievable.
This, we could literally talk about this for hours on end, and we don't have time to do it. Santana Ortiz, they fit this. We've seen them in the street fight. This even tops that for me, what they were doing.
And I love the Dead Presidents, the face paint. I love that. Love it.
Reasons why they are my favorite tag team just keeps going up and up and up because when I said before that we almost saw literal guts in this match, Santana and that fork, right? He literally stuck it into MJF's head. We almost saw MJF's brains. Like the damn
brutal.
fork. And then he licked it. Like, seriously. Like,
no.
My God, man. That was absolutely... I was just like, oh my... Like, my brain went, germs, sweat, anything not disgust you here? But looks absolutely fantastic. And could we also please just mention how good Wardlow looks in white?
You think Wardlow looks good in anything?
He does, though. That's the thing. Like, he came in and like everybody else, when they walked in, ran to everybody. He just stood there and was like, come to me.
Waited.
And I was just like, I just love that. I was just like, yeah, I ain't coming to you guys. You literally got to come to me if you want to fight. I was just like, the confidence of this man. Like, yes. Why should he run? Why should he?
And the way this is booked too, they had him look really, really, really strong in this match. I mean, he threw Sammy around several times. At one point, threw him in the air, and I thought air traffic control was going to have to get involved with the height Sammy got on that toss.
He threw Sammy into the air after Sean Spears dismantled the turnbuckle, left it on the floor, and I'm telling you, Sammy Guevara's head was mere millimeters from hitting that metal from the turnbuckle. I literally went, oh my God, that was so close.
That was...
And I rewound it to go, how close was it? And oh my God, he was so close. So close. Like, that would have been it. That would have been it. And then JK could come in and just literally like doing the opposite. So that was such a nice contrast between the two big guys of the match. And then
the stare down.
Oh God! When they met in the middle, I literally it didn't go quiet, but it felt like everything went still for like a split second.
It did. You could hear the crowd too. It was just kind of whoa,
you know. In my head, it just went game on, like just go. I love this so much. Like I can keep going on it. And then the final bit when Jericho, MJF, and then Jericho came in. And they all went on their opposite sides. And it literally just looked
like a war. That's what it looked like.
It reminded me of. I don't know if you'll get, I don't know if you'll get this reference because you're a bit behind in the MCU universe. But Endgame.
Calling me out, man.
Right? I know. The final thing in Endgame, where Thanos' side and the Avengers side are all on opposite sides and they all collide in the middle. It just literally reminded me of that, and I was just like, oh my, that was just pure you.
People getting busted open in this. Dax and Cash both
oh my God,
were they were covered in blood. I mean, at one point, like I would think it was hard for them to see. There was so much blood from both of them, and MJF too. But man, those Dax and Cash, I mean, they took the worst of it. That's what it looked like. So.
And like when they said blood and guts, I was like, yeah, there's going to be blood. Oh my God, I didn't expect that much. The mat was covered. The mat
it was.
Literally looked like someone had surgery on the mat. It was just like speckled with like red. I was just like, that is not coming out. Like that is stained. No amount of stain remover is getting that out. So.
No. Such a good match.
So good.
They literally left their blood in that match.
Literally. I think they've left blood in Daly's place that has seeped through the floor of Daly's place. That will now always be a part of Daly's place.
Yeah. The DNA's there, man.
The DNA is going to be there.
Yep.
And whenever they return back to Daly's place, after they've moved on with the pandemic and they're back traveling around and they go back there, you're always going to remember that their blood's part of Daly's place now.
Yeah, forever.
Which is forever. It's just amazing. And then that bit where MJF was... he did the "I'm running away" spot,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I can't say the words. And then I love how Tully tried to close the door on Jericho. It's like, dude, you're not closing the door on Jericho. I'm sorry. that is literally, he pushed you over. And when I look back at that now, at first I was like, what is he doing, MJF? But he is literally asking Jericho to follow him.
Yeah. It wasn't running away. He's trying to get him up there. Yep.
And then we know what happened from there. And I, for one, loved it. I don't care what anyone says.
And you called the ending. You called it.
I called it. You called it. Although, looking back, I do still think my other way was better, where you were holding them back. Mm-hmm. But the main thing for me is I called Sammy Guevara surrendering for Jericho.
And if you missed the preview show, what she had predicted that the Pinnacle members would be holding the Inner Circle members and making them watch as MJF beat down Jericho until he couldn't take it anymore, and Sammy surrendered. So still along the same lines. I'm still giving her credit, though.
Still did watch.
They did, just from below.
So, I mean,
So,
goodness.
Man, I think this match and this show delivered.
100%.
It did.
And don't forget, this is like the first one. The other one was meant to be last year. And who knows what that would have been like? Who knows? We're never going to know. So we might as well move on from that.
Yep.
This is
not going to happen.
This has now set the bar for this type of match. How the hell is this ever going to be topped? And I don't want to hear anybody go, "Oh, the like ending." Ooh. No, the whole match. How is that?
That's exactly how they sound in my head. Just like that. Yep.
Like, I don't know how you can escalate it.
Yeah, get over it.
Absolutely fantastic.
So, are we looking forward to hearing MJF speak next week? That's going to be. Yep.
Put it this way: on my Instagram stories, I put a photograph of MJF where he's stood on top of the cage, his face is red, and like the match is finished, and it's that last shot of him. And I put one word to describe MJF. He is a git, but he's AEW's git. The best compliment I can give to this man is he makes you want to hate him.
Mm-hmm. He is so good at what he does.
He is absolutely fantastic.
And there are so many things that could splinter off of this.
So much can happen from this.
What makes this so great? Because now we may get an FTR Santana Ortiz program. We talked about Sammy and Sean Spears possibly. Assume Jericho's going to be out for a while. See. You would think.
You would think.
Yeah. So there are so many, and then and then where does MJF go from here? I mean, the Pinnacle is now the absolute dominant faction in AEW. I guess the only faction you could say that's close to him would be the Elite. That's because they have gold now, but they're treated so differently on the show.
Yeah.
Than the Pinnacle is. The Pinnacle really is that brutal, old school feeling faction.
Yeah.
Harkening back to the Horsemen.
And that makes so much sense with Tully being there as well.
It does.
You can see the influence. You can just feel it through it. And like, look at the wrestlers that's involved. There's no high flyers.
No.
They're all kind of grounded wrestlers.
Ground and pound. Yep. So man, I'm interested to see how these stories play out. The different characters go from here, especially with the Inner Circle. Where does Sammy go? What does Hager do? Santana Ortiz. And question marks on Jericho. A lot of question marks there.
A lot of question marks.
Yeah. So, but hoping some light is shed on that next week, and we have a heck of a card for next week already.
How is this card even like almost topping this show?
I know it looks like I'm looking at the Double or Nothing card or something.
This looks like a go home show for a pay-per-view now.
It's really good. We have next week we're gonna get Darby Allin versus Miro for the TNT Championship. Question mark. Because Darby might not be able to make it. Who knows? Kind of hard to come back after being thrown down a flight of stairs, but it is what it is. If anybody can come back from that, it's Darby. Yeah, you're right. Then we have Orange Cassidy versus Pac. The winner faces Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing for the AEW World Title. And I just want to say, I think this is really cool. We talk about stories intertwining. They've been having this Death Triangle versus Best Friends feud for a while. It's really cool that you feel like that's kind of coming to a finish in this match.
I literally was thinking that, like, when it was announced, like, that is not even the fact that it's been informed by rankings, but the fact that the feud is there as well.
It's perfect.
It's just
perfect.
Superb booking. It's crazy.
And now it's intertwined with the Kenny Omega and the Elite story. So it's just, I love how they cross these stories over sometimes, and you don't even realize what's happening until it's happened.
Like, everybody probably has had a bugbear with Kenny Omega. Like, oh, he's not the same guy he was. I'm sorry, but look at how much. Look,
man.
Kenny Omega, yes, he's not my favorite person.
No.
But we're not going to go in why. We all know why. But you can't.
World champion.
You can't deny that the guy. If you're in his presence, everybody goes up a notch. Look at how far this title reign has, like, brought so many different types of wrestlers into his orbit.
Exactly.
And how many more it's going to bring into his orbit. It's just, literally, I don't get why people don't think he's as great as he is. And that's coming from me. So.
Yeah, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've said it so many times, it's wrestling. And
it is.
I don't do, like, fake. I'm not a fake person. So I will literally say exactly what I'm thinking. So, yes, Kenny Omega stole the championship. It's a storyline. The friends move on. Kenny Omega is an amazing wrestler, but his character is an A-hat.
All right. Still not saying anything nice about Mox, but I will say something nice about the Bucks.
Of course you will.
The Young Bucks, AEW Tag Team Champions, are putting those titles on the line next week against SCU. This is not just a title match, though, because if SCU loses, they will not tag together ever again. That will be the end of Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian as a duo. So there is a lot on the line other than just the tag titles. Then we're going to get a interview with Jade Cargill with Tony Schiavone next week as well. I'm assuming that's going to shed some more light on who she's going to sign with, which manager she's going to choose. Maybe she announces she's going with the Pinnacle. Who knows?
Oh my God, I would literally, like, pop so hard. I think I'd burst a blood vessel.
Also, Cody is going to be making a Double or Nothing announcement next week. Not sure what that is.
Be what I think it is.
What do you think it is?
Oh, please be something Anthony Ogogo, Cody Rhodes. Oh my God.
Oh, you could be.
Cody that will make me happy as well.
Ogogo at Double or Nothing. Yep.
That'll pop another blood vessel.
Oh, and then we're going to get Jon Moxley versus Eugene Agada for the IWGP United States Championship. Really cool interpromotional match on Dynamite. So this is one that people have talked about a lot, want to see this. So we're going to get it on Dynamite next week.
Now, you should say thank you to John Moxley.
I should. They're right here, right now.
Yeah.
Are we still recording?
Damn right we are.
Okay. Thank you, John Moxley. Okay. Now.
I know that hurt.
A little bit. I'm feeling a little queasy. I think we're moving into question time, aren't we?
It's question time.
Yay. Thank you all for the questions. And thank you, Sarah, for singing just now.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Voice of an angel. So we've got quite a few questions.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Go ahead.
Angel that fell from somewhere.
Yeah. No halo.
No halo. We've got quite a few questions. You may be surprised to find out that it mainly involves Darby, what happens after the Blood and Guts match, and Omega Cassidy. Shockingly, these are the talking points.
Those are all good questions, though.
They are all good questions. Shall we begin?
Let's go.
Let's go. First question is from It Doesn't Want to My Name Is.
Hey, what's going on?
The question is Miro the next TNT championship? And why Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, focusing on Darby and Sting? Future stable, Miro, Sky, Ethan Page, and Archer.
Short answer on the stable question is no.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening. Do I think Miro is going to be the next champion, which means is he going to beat Darby next week?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's I give it a 70% chance that's going to happen. At least a 60% chance somewhere in there. I think there's a really good chance. However, I have a feeling that Kip Sabian is about to get involved somehow, and that's how Miro ends up not getting his shot. I don't know. I could be wrong. I feel like something's going to happen where Darby just survives again. But I feel like the odds are stacked against him considering he's injured, and now he's got to face this monster Miro. I feel like there's going to have to be some other kind of factor where you keep Miro looking strong, because you can't have Miro look strong and lose to a 30% healthy Darby. I mean, something's got to give there. There has to be some other kind of factor that comes in. So it's kind of where my mind is now. Now with going to Sting and Lance Archer and Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, and there's so many intertwining character situations here, but I think what's going to happen with Archer in this situation is that Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky they're continuing to go after Sting and Darby. I think Archer is going to come to Darby and Sting's defense. I don't think Archer has anything to do with Page and Sky. No. I think it's on the other end. I think he's going to come to their defense, and will probably, I know we've mentioned it before, he'll probably end up tagging with Darby at some point against them two, or tagging with Sting. I don't know. Could go either way, but I think he's going to end up working with Sting and Darby, at least for now.
Yeah.
Because I think if Darby hangs on to that title, the plan is still to have Archer eventually, because of that relationship. Something happens there. We've talked about that before. I still think we're going to get to Archer versus Darby. Somehow, with all this stuff going on, it's still going to get to that point. Still going to get there.
Somehow, some way.
Yes, we're going to force it there.
So my thoughts is, I don't think there's going to be a faction of Miro, Sky, Ethan Page, and Archer. Reason being, I don't see Archer in a stable really at all. And Miro's just done the whole Kip thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio Sky and Eva Page are just being disruptive to get the kicks at the moment.
I kind of like that too. I dig that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Miro getting the TNT champ next week. I want Miro to have it at some point. I don't want it to have him yet. I think it's great going for it. I just don't think he's. Personally, we've not had a lot of singles matches for Miro, so it just seems a bit plonky that he would just then all of a sudden become the TNT champion. So no, I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, Handman wasn't meant to lose either. So
yeah, that's what's perplexing for me though is you don't want him to lose either. Like I'm trying to figure out a way for him to lose but not lose.
That's where my thought process goes to next. So then I don't see that happening for the fact that Kip should be scared of Miro by now. He should want to avoid him.
Stay away.
Literally at all costs. I do think we're going to get the payoff for them to eventually. But what I'm thinking is, for whatever reason, and I don't know how it's going to happen or if it would happen, my thought process is Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky run down. They do something that causes an easy thing for Miro to pin Darby. Archer comes out and chases them off and therefore distracts Miro, and Darby rolls him up or whatever and gets the win. Therefore, you get Miro versus Archer and let the big boys fight and let it escalate to that point.
And meanwhile, you could have Ethan Page versus Darby or something like that.
Something along them lines. I also would say the more that this goes on with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky around Darby and Lance Archer and Sting, the more it's going to become clear. So at the moment, I think, like I said, they're leading us down a dark alley that's got many, many turning off points, and I just don't know which one we're going down yet with it.
Yeah, there's a picture there, but it's really blurry right now.
Yeah.
And over the next couple of weeks, it's going to start coming into focus where we're going to be able to see it a little clearer. Yep.
100%. Right. Next question is from Alfred the Absurd.
Hello.
His question is, what are your thoughts on a future match and feud between Sammy and MJF? This is his dream match.
Oh, I am all for that. And it would make sense. Now, that's somewhere you could go for double or nothing. And actually, I hadn't really thought of that. I kept thinking of Sammy and Spears just because of, there's some history there too, and they had a lot of interaction during the match. But it would make sense, especially if Jericho is out of action for a while, to Sammy be that the person that's in place that's going to step up and defend Jericho's name against MJF and the Pinnacle. So that's a good dream match that I would be absolutely on board for. So nice call with that one.
I can see, if we're going to go down that road, that Sammy goes complete sympathetic, babyface, the promos, like, generally looking upset over it. I don't even expect them to be necessarily in Dave's place. You could cut it from like his hotel room where he's just absolutely devastated of the whole situation. There's so much you can do with that because also don't forget, Sammy kind of got from the start that what MJF was doing. So there's that whole history.
You're right. He was the one.
There's he secretly coded MJF, and the whole thing what looked like the Inner Circle turning on Jericho, but it was all the plan.
Mhm.
So there is a lot of depth to this that can inform a feud and a match or several matches. I hadn't even I hadn't even thought of that happening. I was concentrating on Sean Spears.
Yeah, I like it.
Very interesting. Right.
Yep.
Next question is from Lady Hawk.
Lady Hawk.
Her question is, what do we think of Orange Cassidy versus Omega feud?
I like it. It's a, it's not something I thought I wanted until I saw it. Until I saw him standing face to face, and the way Omega ran Orange Cassidy down. I like that. I like Omega really running his mouth. The character he's playing now, matched up with Orange Cassidy's very laid back personality, and a match between those two. Now that I think about it, would be really, really fun, especially when Orange Cassidy hits that next gear, turns it up a notch. Things would get really interesting. So, yes, I'm on board for that. But I didn't think I wanted it until last night.
Yeah. Do you not think it's crazy that AEW's pace has been going for like 2 years and we're still getting surprised by matchups?
I know.
Like, oh my God, we never thought of this. But yeah, the other thing that I like about the idea of Orange Cassidy and Omega is, look how frustrated Penta got with Orange Cassidy. Do his whole little shtick. Imagine that happening and Kane just getting more and more riled up the more and more it looks like Orange Cassidy isn't taking it serious, and how much Kenny getting riled up will just also mean that Orange Cassidy just relaxes so much so, and then when Omega least expects it, Orange Cassidy goes.
Boom.
What absolute beauty to behold. Yeah, I am generally so intrigued for this match. I love it when the styles of wrestler clash, but you just know it's going to work anyway because of who they are.
And what's great about this is that, normally you look at a guy like Orange Cassidy and like, oh man, I don't want him to take a loss. I don't want him to take a loss here. He's going to have to take a loss in this title match. But for a character like Cassidy, this wouldn't be a bad loss, something that's going to hurt his character at all. If he loses to Omega, which
I don't even think you could class it as a loss in the sense of it's going to damage him. Like, considering like Orange Cassidy as a wrestler, the character he portrays, the fact that he's even got to this point means he's already an elevated star. You've just got to look at the fan response to him. There's no way that a loss can diminish this guy's entire aura in this business at all. I refuse to believe that.
And if there is a full crowd for this at Double or Nothing, that place is going to go absolutely insane for this match.
God, yes. Yes.
The crowd loves Orange Cassidy, period. So, yep.
Next question is from Richie. And his question simply is, thoughts on the ending? I'm guessing he means of the main event.
Yeah, I would assume so. I loved it. The Pinnacle going over, and that was the right call. And the way it went down, which is, basically the way you laid it out last week, Sarah, was perfect. I mean, Jericho needed to be the one to take the loss, to take the fall, which literally he took the fall. I didn't mean it that way, but it worked out. and Sammy just made so much sense to be the one to surrender. So I loved it. And I loved how MJF was portrayed in that. Just the visuals with the way he looked, as bloody as he looked, as evil as he looked standing up there. I just thought that was just a great image to end the show on. So yeah, I like the way the ending of the match was booked. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I just genuinely loved it, and like I've said before, look, yes,
Mhm.
you could see what happened. I generally don't think that takes away from like the amazing match.
It doesn't for me at all.
Everybody will have their own thoughts, and
Mhm.
wrestling is subjective, so everybody's allowed their own thoughts.
Yes.
But you've also got to remember when Matt Hardy fell onto concrete, everybody was saying this isn't safe. Jericho's fallen onto what looks like safety padding or safety crash mat or everything like that, and now people are like, that's too safe.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
It is wrestling. They are generally not trying to kill themselves.
No. Nobody wants to see that.
That 100% should be avoided at all costs. I even saw someone on Twitter go, if you want to see how this spot's done, look at Mankind. I think we can all say that spot didn't help Mick Foley in his long-term health. And that was a different time, a different era. It's got to be safe. Like, Jericho is 50 years old. Like, I'm sure, you know, he's got a lot more future ahead of him in wrestling and in life. Let's not be silly. The only thing I will say is, yes, the camera angle should have been better.
Yeah.
That is literally it.
But things are never. I don't know if I've ever watched a perfect wrestling show.
No.
Period. Like, no, there's stuff that's going to happen. Stuff's not going to happen perfectly, but that doesn't take me out of it. It doesn't. Again, you know, we talked about letting yourself go, just enjoying the show, and just emotionally involving yourself in it, and letting everything else go. And that's what I do. I watch it to have fun. I don't watch it to criticize. That's not what I'm doing. Which doesn't mean I can't see a story element that happens, and I'm like, man, I think this should have gone this way or this way or that way with a story. Just kind of fantasy booking on my own, like we do here. But I'm not there to nitpick every production thing that happens on the show. That's not why I'm watching. And it's cool. If that's what you want to watch it for, have at it. Exactly. That's not how I'm going to watch it. Yep,
but
I'm having fun. I'm here to have fun.
People need to think, well, how would you want it to be done for yourself? Would you want to fall onto legit concrete?
Yep. Let's just say if I had the choice between it looking brutal and not being safe, or it being safe and looking not as realistic, I'll take being safe and looking not as realistic. If I'm protecting. Now, you want to find a middle ground, obviously, but if I got to pick between the two, I'd rather somebody be safe and me realize it's cardboard or whatever. I'm cool with that, man.
And don't forget, like, Daly's place for 2 rings is small. They've got to get how many camera people, how many angles. It's just, it is what it is. I think
a lot of things go.
They'll learn from it, and we'll all move on. And I don't think this overshadows the whole thing. So
no way. Love the match.
Yeah, exactly. Next question, moving on from that heated topic. We have a question from Chronic.
Hey, what's going on?
He's saying...
wait, this question is not about a bear, is it?
No, it is not about a bear.
Okay. Not about a bear. Okay, moving on.
Some people may not know what we're on about. It's from last week. He's saying,
he knows.
Because Sammy surrendered, do we see Sammy versus Jericho?
No, I don't think so. Not now. And I mean, you know, at some point, you know, a couple of years down the road, there might be a reason for it. But I don't think because of his surrender, I don't think there's going to be any kind of feud between him and Jericho. I don't think that's the story. between them, especially with them being baby faces. I think Jericho would remain a baby face, and so would Sammy, and everybody in the inner circle would do that. So I don't think that's the road they're going to go down with Sammy's story or with Jericho's. I don't think so.
No. I basically think the same, because at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, like I've said before, Jericho picked Sammy. Jericho's kind of guided Sammy through nearly 2 years of his career at AEW. Jericho's always been there in the background. Sammy can easily explain him surrendering was because he didn't want MJF to do what obviously MJF anyway did. I don't see how Jericho can be mad or annoyed at the fact that Sammy tried to save him being thrown off the top of a cage.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would how you'd even work that.
Now, had this been heel Inner Circle against a face team, yes, I think at that point you do get a Sammy versus Jericho feud, because Jericho would be playing up the heel. Sammy becomes a babyface instantly, because he's, even in a heel faction, he's trying to being sympathetic and trying to save his friend, even though you hate them both. At that point, Sammy becomes the face and Jericho becomes a heel. But since they're in a face group, I just don't. Yeah, I don't see that happening. But it would work if they were heels. So yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Our final question is from Ben.
Hey, Ben, does he have two?
Just one.
Protect the gimmick, Ben.
Well, one that I saw pop up last minute. So if there was more, Ben, really sorry, but it popped up just as we was going on to record this, and I was like, I'll just get that one in quick.
There you go.
He basically wants to know, do we think it's going to be Pac or Orange Cassidy that wins?
This is so close. But if I'm going to plant my flag anywhere, it's going to be a flag with an orange on it. And I'm going with Orange Cassidy. I think Orange Cassidy's going to win, and he's going to face Kenny Omega for that world title at Double or Nothing. Because it's something we haven't seen. And if you're going to drop something like this semi out of nowhere, although they are 1 and 2 in the rankings, it's not really out of nowhere, but it kind of felt out of nowhere. So if you're going to try to sell people on something like this that doesn't have a huge story behind it, I think you want it to be something fresh, something new. And Pac versus Kenny Omega, although it would be an awesome match, and I would not mind seeing that again, it wouldn't feel as new and fresh as freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus Kenny Omega. So I'm going with Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I think Orange Cassidy as well, just because, well, generally because I want to see it, if I'm being honest.
You just want that to happen. Yeah.
I literally could give you a really in-depth answer, but I want to see it. So
that's it.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be so interesting. And we have seen Pac and Omega, and don't get me wrong, they were fantastic. And I'd love to see them again further down the line. But I just generally think that Pac is kind of in the midst of a tag thing at the moment, where Orange Cassidy seems to be on a singles run. So that's the technical wrestling answer. The actual answer is I want to see it, so I want it to happen.
Either way, it works.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the questions, man.
All right, good question. Awesome.
Good question.
Liked it. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed Blood and Guts. We definitely did, and as always, we enjoy doing these shows. The reviews are always fun, so we look forward to this one for a long time. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to us. Make sure to subscribe to AEW Rewind on YouTube. Hit the like button on this audio video thing. Drop us a comment. Again, we always love reading the comments.
Yes.
And give us a follow on Twitter if you don't already. You can follow me at Let the Beard Play, and you can follow Sarah at Strange _ Pixie. Yeah. Oh, so that's it. Are you ready for next week, Sarah?
As always.
Absolutely. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed watching. Y'all be good out there, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.